Growing up in Sheffield in the 1990s, I took access to live music venues for granted, and we had access not just to some of the best venues in the country, but some of the best music in the country at the time as well. As a teenager, the Arctic Monkeys were starting to gig at the Grapes, the Boardwalk and the Harley, as were bands like Reverend and the Makers, Middleburn and the Long Pigs. Sadly, not one of those venues is still hosting live music today, but all of those bands would say that without them, it wouldn't have been possible for Sheffield to produce the groundbreaking music it is now internationally renowned for. I'm told that when Radiohead toured with their debut album, Pablo Honey, they played 400 music venues of around 500 capacity across the UK. Only 3 of those music venues are still open today. These venues are the incubator of talent, and we are feeling their loss across the music industry in the UK today. And what's more, arts and culture funding too often gravitates towards prestige and towards London, rather than flowing towards talent. As John McClure, the Reverend of Reverend and the Makers, said to me ahead of today's debate, it is certainly true that the arts have become the preserve of the rich kids, for boys and girls like me are now excluded in the main through a lack of access to the networks of power combined with a lack of resources. So this is why today's debate is so important, as is the incredible work of UK Music and other bodies like the Musicians' Union, who have fought to save threatened venues because they recognise this is the heart of a revival that must come. I am incredibly proud to sit on Sheffield City Region's music board, set up by UK Music and our mayor, the member for Barnsley Central. It's the first to be set up outside London and is an essential part of this revival. It promotes work like that of Higher Rhythm, which delivers the Breakthrough Artist Development Programme to intensively support 6 Yorkshire artists annually with a package of opportunities to help them tangibly progress their careers. But we must do more. We've heard about the importance of music education, and I hope the Combined Authority looks at UK Music's proposal to create 6 music education hubs across the region. We must make sure the agent of change principle is properly implemented in all our communities, and the government should look at extending existing relief schemes to cover live music venues. Finally, no government can claim to be serious about global Britain while cutting off our greatest cultural export at the knee in the Brexit negotiations. So I hope the Minister looks carefully at the musician's passport. I want the kids in my constituency to have the same opportunities musicians in the last decades have had, for them to be rewarded based on talent, not on networks or how many followers they can buy on social media. And I want them to be able to showcase their talent on stages in Sheffield so that then they can showcase it to the world. These issues are not nice to haves. They're fundamental to our economy, to our culture, and tell the world everything about what it is to be British.
Yeah.